gang, baby. Let's go. It is May 16th. We are about 3.5 weeks out. This is going to be a full day of eating, and this is summer shredding. Hello there. So I'm going to take you guys through a full day of eating about 4 weeks out from my first ever bodybuilding competition. And I'm just going to kind of break down everything that I typically like to do for meals and snacks. And at the end of the video, I'm going to break down the calories and macros for you. Now, the first thing you saw in the intro was the coffee. I typically start my day off with just some black coffee because caffeine, first of all, is a great appetite suppressant. I think it tastes good. It's 0 calories. And it's just a really convenient way for me to get creatine in for the day. Then here I'm kind of showing you what I'm packing for lunch this week. So I like to do all my meal prepping on the weekend, so that way it's really easy and like really convenient during the week, and I don't even need to think about anything. This way I can just throw everything together the morning of, and I think it's a great way to prevent any sort of cheating or breaking from your diet or plan, because this way you go into the week, you already have a plan, you already have all the food that you hopefully bought and prepared beforehand, so there's really no need to deviate and go out and binge or anything like that. Now this week I'm having these balsamic chicken pasta bowl things. I'm not really sure where I came up with this concoction, but it's basically just some regular pasta, some pan-cooked chicken, so there's no unnecessary oils or fats, anything like that. Some diced tomatoes and black olives from a can because they're really convenient, low calorie, and some feta cheese for an extra shot of protein and great flavor. And I just like to season it to my taste, so some salt and some soul food seasoning is what I've been using lately. Now the full macros for this meal are going to be posted right here. Typically for my meals, I like to keep them around 400 calories or less if I'm on a hard cut like I am right now, just because that way I can still have lunch and dinner all together for 800 calories or less, and I think that's a great goal to shoot for. Now I'm also packing this protein bar for breakfast. This particular one is a chocolate peanut butter flavor by Elevation. As a rule, I typically don't eat more than 300 calories for breakfast, just because I feel like this is where most people make the mistake of overindulging and eating unnecessary amounts of calories filled with sugar and fat when they're trying to eat a healthy breakfast. And going along with this, I also generally like to fast for a few hours before I eat if I can. So in this case, I packed it in my bag and I eat it first thing during class. Literally just had the dumbest class ever. Anyways, about to go back to the car so I can change, and then we're gonna get a nice pull workout in today. Hitting back and buys, let's do it. So it's been a while since I last ate a meal, and this is where I'm just starting to make dinner. Now again, I plan all my meals out for the week in advance, so this week I'm having these homemade chicken gyro type things. I think they're actually pretty good. I'm not Greek or anything, so it's not authentic, but this is just what we're gonna go with. So basically the biggest thing here for these is that you wanna get these lavish pitas made by Joseph's. Now, there's only 60 calories and 6 grams of protein for one pita, so I like to have 2 pitas. This is also the same brand that makes the really popular lavish like flatbreads. For this recipe, I just like using the pitas because I can get 2 of them. They're a little bit smaller, so 2 chicken gyros. Then just add a little layer of some non-fat plain Greek yogurt, and this is key right here. It's just some dill, but trust me, it'll take things to the next level. So definitely try it out if you make stuff like this. Then I take my freshly cut tomatoes and onions for some extra volume and flavor, and put my pan-cooked chicken on top. Again, no oils, no like frying, anything like that. Just chicken, pan, boom. These things actually come out looking pretty clean. Delicious. So the total macros for this meal are gonna be right here. Again, not really a recipe, I'm just trying to give you some ideas and show you what I like to make, just some recommendations for something you could try yourself. Now right after this, I actually made a bowl of protein cereal. Now this is actually the premier protein cereal that I reviewed in terms of taste, cost, and macros in this video right here. So feel free to go check that out if you want like a more in-depth breakdown of exactly what I thought of the different flavors and just my overall thoughts. But basically I just mixed that with some almond milk and sweetener for flavoring because I use the unsweetened vanilla almond milk. Now if you're like me, you typically get really hungry at night, so this is usually where I save the vast majority of my calories for, so that way I can avoid like binging or overeating, anything like that. But again, it's important because although I save my calories, I still have a plan for what I'm going to be eating the rest of the day. I kind of map everything out in advance just like I do my weekly meals. So right here I'm having some tofu. I feel like people have really strong opinions about tofu. They either like really like it or they really hate it. Personally, I kind of like it as long as like I mix it with some of this sugar-free G. Hughes like sweet chili sauce. It's a great topping for a really small amount of calories, brings out a lot of flavor, and like tofu is just a super high protein, like low calorie type of meal. You can eat an entire brick of this stuff for like 350 calories. And then last but not least, I decided to try out a new protein brownie recipe tonight. I don't know why, I was just feeling a little curious. Now this entire batch is under 300 calories, so right here I ate half of it and put some peanut butter on there for the rest of my calories. All right, so I'm just sitting down. I made this new like protein brownie recipe. I've not ever made this particular recipe before. The peanut butter was my idea. So basically I did save one brownie with no peanut butter on it so I can give you an honest review. They're a little thin. They are kind of dense. Like it's not super pancakey like a lot of the other protein stuff. So the thing I do like about this is that it has like your typical brownie like skin on the top. So let's give it a try. Here we go. Yeah, that's definitely pretty good. All right, time to try one with the peanut butter. Ready? Cheers. Oh yeah. And right after that, I went to bed, did the same thing the next day. Seriously though, like a huge key to success in like maintaining a really consistent fat loss progression is consistency. You basically need to be consistent and always have a plan. If you go out to eat, have a plan. When you go shopping, have a plan. If you save calories later in the day, have a plan. Don't just go shopping with no idea in mind because you're gonna end up buying a whole bunch of random stuff that you probably don't need. And the more food you have in the house, the more temptation you have. Trust me, it is gonna be so much easier to be successful when you plan your meals out in advance so you know exactly what you're going to be eating and when. Anyways, as promised by the title and the thumbnail, here is the entire macro and calorie breakdown for my full day of eating, just shy of 1,800 calories. Now, if you're trying to lose weight like I am at the moment, trying to get lean for my show, then I really recommend, as always, that you emphasize your protein intake, typically around 1 gram per pound of body weight. Now right here, I'm doing more than that because I'm only about 135 pounds and I'm going for anywhere between 155 and 165 grams of protein a day, which is a lot more than most of you guys need. But for me, since I'm trying to lean down as much as possible, I'm trying to hold on to as much muscle tissue as I can, so I'm really just trying to bank that protein. Now again, that's just because I'm trying to get super lean and have a show coming up, but chances are you don't, so don't stress about it too much. Now, if you want to follow along in my journey to compete in my first bodybuilding show, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and check out this video for some entertaining flips that when I got kicked out of Walmart. It's a really great video, and you're gonna love it.